As you can see, there are a lot of books out here. A lot of them are out of order, out of genre, and a lot of them I just acquired and I just started stacking. So now we're just gonna try to make things more organized and just declutter and figure out, a nice vibe for it all. So, come with me on this journey. So I'm just gonna start decluttering. So you're gonna see a quick time lapse, but yeah. I'm trying to figure out what the best course of action is for all these books. I'm thinking we should sort it by genre, sort it by authors. So if I have multiple books from the same author, keep it in that same author and genre. And then sort it by if it's young adult fiction or like it's realistic fiction or nonfiction at all. Because I do have some biographies here. So let's begin. Let's begin. For bottom row, I'm gonna put the books I don't really read. So like if I do, I'm interested, I'm like, oh, maybe let me try something new today. I'll like pick it up from the bottom row. And let's do nonfiction slash biography for that. I used to read a lot of nonfiction as a kid. I don't know why. Like my parents used to like buy me this like war novels, like this World War II like novels about these fighter pilots and all these people who fought in the war. And I was like, I know I was reading as a kid. It was kind of crazy. I was reading Diary of Anne Frank, which everyone had to read, like at some point during schooling. I also like read a lot of like books on like Auschwitz and like, a lot of the crazy stuff that happened during World War One and World War Two. So if you do sell out the books, they are part of that. And you know what? They are really great reads. It's just like, it's really dark for like 10-year-olds to be reading. But overall, great reads, good books. And you do get to learn a lot about how people lived and how they survived. And hope, bravery, all that good stuff. Anyways, let's get into it. Oops. So some books fell. A lot of books fell. Let's just figure this out. So we're gonna start from the top shelf, and then I was gonna sort it out from the books I don't like. I'll like sort out the fiction, nonfiction. Actually, let's just start sorting out the fiction versus nonfiction right now, and then we go from there. I'm gonna make all of this disappear. Okay, let's begin. Let's start sorting. I'm gonna first off start off with these two stacks of books and just go from there because there's too much, and I need to take it step by step, because if not, I think I'll just like quit and just leave all those books on the floor, which isn't great. The Diary of Anne Frank. I got this book in middle school. They were giving out free books at the end of the like school year, and they were like, if you want any, just grab them. And I was like, obviously yes. So I grabbed Diary of Anne Frank. Those other books, as you'll see later on. And this is like a pretty interesting read, and everyone's read Diary of Anne Frank. And so if you haven't read it, take a gander at it. Then I have this book. I haven't read it, but it was for free, so I grabbed it. You will see a theme in this video. I'm a bit of a hoarder of books. Don't tell anyone anything. So this book, I haven't read it, but it seems really interesting. I think it's like sci-fi, so I'm gonna put it in the sci-fi pile over yonder here. Okay, now we have this book. This book is so good. I read this in high school. It was one of my reading books. It's called Wonder Woman. It's like based on Wonder Woman's Lace by Leigh Bardugo. She wrote Six of Crows, a really good book. Anyways, this book, it's like a revisiting of Wonder Woman in a modern world, and it was really interesting, and I really enjoyed it. So if you haven't, just go take a look at this. You might see a theme of also reading books, because after a while, after do the competition, they sometimes give me the books for free, and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna just grab a few. So yeah, I have this book by Holly Black. I think it's after like the Cruel Prince like trilogy series. It's like an offshoot of that. I haven't read it yet, but I bought it because like I really enjoyed the Cruel Prince, so hopefully it's good. You'll also notice throughout this video, a lot of the books I haven't read, and that's because I'm like keeping them. I'm like saving them for special occasions. Yeah. That's one of them I really read, as you will see by the like sticker in. But yeah, this is fantasy, so I'll put this with the fantasy. I will separate fantasy and sci-fi for this, so I'll put in the fantasy pile. They started to pile up, so yeah. The 5th season by N.K. Jemisin, so good. It's a sci-fi and it's really amazing, and if you haven't read it, read it. So I'll put this in the sci-fi pile. Okay. So next we have Keepers of the Labyrinth. I got this book in, I believe, middle school. If you know the store Ollie's, it's like a retail store. They sell a lot of things, a lot of random stuff, but they also sell books. And so I buy those books. So I bought this. I believe it's like fantasy. I haven't read it yet. I know I have had it since middle school. I will read it. Maybe I'll make a to be read shelf as well for me to actually get to these books. But yeah, put this fantasy pile. Now this Eye of Kong Babel. This book is insane. It's so good. Victoria, you got my heart. You got my heart. It's so good. It's amazing. It's set in the like I think in the 19th or 8th, I think it's in the 19th century England. It's really good. It's got like a lot of fantastical elements. So like I'm not gonna spoil too much, but it's amazing. So read this. Yeah. I'll put this in the is this fantasy or sci-fi? Like how would I categorize Babel? I'll put it in fantasy because they have magic in it. So fantasy. Now the Poppy War. Now this is her most famous book. And I haven't read it. I got it because, you know, everyone was like really recommended it to me. I have read a few pages, like I'm on page 6. So I did open it, but I have this thing like FOMO, but reverse FOMO, where like if someone recommends me something so much, I just won't read it. But for this, because I really enjoyed Babel, I will read this. I promise you. I will make a video of me reading this and reviewing it. But yeah, so hopefully it's going to be exciting. I've had a lot of good praise about it. So this I believe is historical. It seems, I don't know what to put this as. They said it's like a Bildungsroman, so I'll put it in fantasy, even though it's technically historical fiction, to just keep it with Babel. Well, you know what? I'm gonna make a different category of historical fantastical fiction. Yeah, I'm gonna make another category. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, I have this book. I shadowed a doctor, and he gave this to me. It's like Navigating Life in Multiple Sclerosis. It's a really good read, and it's like really helpful to understand how patients live with this disease and how they overcome, and also like how you can like understand the disease more, how you can like take note of it, what are the symptoms, everything like that. It was a really good read. So if you're interested in learning more about neurodegenerative diseases such as multiple sclerosis, take a gander at this. I'll put this as nonfiction. So these are the piles I have so far. So starting from nonfiction to fantasy to sci-fi, and finally historical fantasy fiction. Yeah. So that's what we have so far. I have this book, Seven Dials. I haven't read it yet. I just bought it recently from a book sale. A library was doing like a book sale, and everything was like 50 cents to $1. $1 was for hardcover books, and 50 cents were for paperback. And I was like, this is a steal. I'm gonna get this. So I got this as a mystery. And it's based on the Seven Dials. I believe that's like a part in England, Britain, London-ish. I'm not sure. But it seems really interesting. I haven't read it yet, so I'll put it under mystery, and then after the fact, if I want to create another video or do something else, I'll like rearrange it to read versus haven't read. But let's keep it with genre for now, just to like keep my sanity, honestly. Okay, so mystery, oh wait. Okay, now, these two books. So these are recent like fantasy, it's like a, yeah, it's like YA historical, not historical, YA school life fantasy. So it's like really, really good. I've read the first book. I recently just got the second book, and I got it in like the deluxe version because I was like, you know, I really enjoyed this so much. I'm gonna get this really nice, you know. I haven't read it yet, but I'm excited. You know, if you love Vampire Diaries, you love this one. I'm gonna put this both as fantasy. No. It's fantasy, but it's also school life. It's not historical. I'll put it as fantasy. Fantasy file. Okay. Mortal Engines. This was good. I watched the show. I haven't read the books yet. I know, crazy. I got this in high school, so I'll read it. I promise. I will put this sci-fi. Yeah, this sci-fi. Okay. Now, Octavia Butler, my favorite sci-fi author. If you don't know her, you need to know her. You need to get to read her books. It's amazing. So I recently, my university, my college, had a day where we basically talked about Octavia Butler and showcased her works and her life and her stories. And they invited people to come talk about how Octavia Butler has influenced your life and your decisions and your art and all the stuff they made. And then they had a book sale after the fact. I spent a lot of money on this. I was like, oh, but I was like, you know what? It's worth. So for this book, it's called Purple of the Sower. It's really good. It's like based on like a near future United States. It's like very different. There's this woman who decides to, you know, rally up. She's not really a woman, she's a girl. This girl, she's like 15 years old. She has to rally up and like make a change in her society, basically. And so she starts up a whole religion and everything. It's insane, but it's so good. And it's sci-fi. And I got author's signature in this, I believe. Yeah, I got the author's signature in this. Not the author, the comic book writers, but you get my drift. So cool, so cool. So I'm gonna put this in, I'll put this in a new category. I'm gonna make it a comic book / graphic novels category. So I'll put that over yonder. Okay, now next, Children of Blood and Bones. Now, this book is Nigerian fantasy fiction. So good. They're actually making a movie about this, and I'm super excited. I'm actually quite a little peeved because they didn't cast as many Nigerian actors as I would have loved when it's based on Nigerian folk tales and everything. But you know, I'm just excited to see another like black film come out. So hey, hopefully it's good. I hope it's good. So yeah, I'll put this in fantasy. Okay, let's continue. Searching for the Stars. on an Island in Maine. So this was a nonfiction book that was actually part of my curriculum at college. It was science, technology, and religion. So it's a really interesting read because it like discusses a man's path as he searches and tries to understand the world around him. And it's basically like a scientific viewpoint on the world as he is on this island in Maine. So it's like a nonfiction. It's basically not a biography, but sort of is about this physicist. So it's a really interesting and cool read. So if you're interested in nonfictions, check this one out. So I'll put this in the nonfiction category. Now, I have a confession to make. I was obsessed with fantasy and folk fairy tales as a kid. So I have a lot of different fairy tale books. So I used to read the red book, the gray book, the black book. I remember there was like of different colors of like the Grimm fairy tales. I loved them. Like I was obsessed with them. So firstly, I have the Hans Christian Andersen fairy tales. Like it's like a full collection of all the fairy tales he wrote. I love them. I'm gonna put them in the fairy tale section. I'm gonna make a fairy tale section. I don't care. Okay. Then now I have the Brother Grimm's fairy tale. So good. I was obsessed with this as a kid. I'm gonna also put it in the fairy tale section over here. Now, this one is also by N.K. Jemisin. This is a more of a fantasy. I've read it, but I can't quite remember the plot, but the cover is really pretty. So I remember it's fantasy, so I'm gonna put this in the fantasy section. Fantasy section is over here. So next on, this book, I got it in middle school. Yeah, even says the middle school name at the back. I'm not gonna show you, but yeah, I got it in middle school. And I believe it's like a time travel back to the 19th century, so the 1800s. And, you know, very interesting. I haven't read it yet, but it seems really interesting. And the cover's really nice. So I'll put it, it's my to be read. I know I've middle school. To be read, I'll put this under science fiction, technically, because it's time travel. But it's also historical. I'll put it in the Arab Kwong, historical, fantasy, science fiction, whatever. Yeah, I'm putting that category. Now I have this, Naked Economics. Don't ask me why I had this. It was for my AP Gov class. I did not read this book. But it's really interesting if you're a business person. So I'll just add it to my nonfiction book right here. Now, Warcross. This was insane. I was obsessed with Mary Lou in middle school and high school. Like, so good. This book, so gas. Female lead, top tier. Based on a game world, oh my goodness, what more do you want? If you haven't read this book, read it. If you've read it, let me know what you think. Amazing. I'll put this in the science fiction. Yeah, science fiction. It's science fiction, technically. Okay. Now, Dear Amy. I haven't read this book yet, but I got it from I believe it was from Dollar Tree. Is it from Dollar Tree or from Ollie's? I heard it's really good. I haven't read it yet, but it's a mystery. It's kind of like psychological suspense. So hopefully I'll get a chance to read it as well. So I'll put it in the mystery suspense thriller section. Okay, now The Scammer. This was a book I got to treat myself after finals, and I was like, you know what, I must splurge a little bit. So I got this book, The Scammer. I've loved this author, Tiffany Jackson, for a while. I read her other book, Allegedly, A Monday's Not Coming. The plot twist and the craziness, and bro, it made me cry. Oh my goodness. I haven't read this book yet, but it seems really interesting and I'm looking forward to it. So this is more of a like school life thing. So maybe I'll make a different category for school life category for that. So for current day type of situation. Okay, now this is a poetry book. I got this. My school sometimes does this poetry nights where they invite different poets to come speak and share their works, and they also give out free poetry books. So this one I got for free. It's called To the Boy Who Was Night. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but it looks really good, and I'm really excited to like read it because I really love poetry because it evokes like a different emotion, and I love the way authors really just like explain themselves and showcase themselves through their work. So it's like, little tidbit, I used to write poetry as a kid. I still try to do sometimes, but I'm gonna check it out. I'm putting it in the poetry pile. So these are the piles so far. So we have the comic book, nonfiction, fantasy. The fantasy piles are really big. Sci-fi, mixture of school life, fantasy, everything together. I don't know what's called. A mixture of historical and fantasy and sci-fi. Yeah, that's it. Then we have the mystery section, we have the fairy tale section, and we have the poetry section. And finally, we got the school life section. Now, next on. This Time's Up. I read this book so many times as a kid. I got it in Ollie's as well. You're gonna see a trend. I was a kid. I was looking for free books. I was looking for cheap books. I didn't have money to spend on them $30 books, so I got the books I could get for free or for really cheap because I had to save my money as a kid. So I was very money conscious. But this book was really, really fun. I believe it was an action mystery situation, so I'll put it over here. Next one is Burning Bright. A lot of these books were kind of like adult, so I don't think I was supposed to be reading them as a kid, but it was definitely interesting. I was like, whoa, this is a little graphic with the like actions and the like, killings and all that not so fun stuff. But it was really good. Like it's like an action book, and it was interesting. And now put it over in the action mystery pile. Okay, now this I got it for free. It was like my middle school was giving it out, and it was called The Meg Cabell Perfect Princess. I used to read like a lot of this like children's book because I was a child, obviously. But this was really fun. I'll put it in the children's pile. I'll create a pile for like children's books. Yeah. Okay, now this Truly Devious. As you can see, it's a readable book. So good, really fun. It's like a mystery, but it's also like school life mystery. So I'll put it in the school life mystery pile. School life pile, because I just want to differentiate it, even though it's the same topic technically. I think it's good to like differentiate between young adult and adult fiction, especially in regards to mystery, because it gets very different. A History of the World in 6 classes. This was my AP World History book I had to read and I bought, and then they were like, actually, we're not using this for the curriculum anymore. So I just had the book, and it was really good. Actually, I got to learn a lot about the different drinks like each world makes and how it all originated and how it stems from each other, and why we have certain foods or certain juices, certain drinks in certain countries and certain areas of the world, and what culminated from it all. This was really good. Like if you enjoy like nonfiction and just learn about the world and then different like cultures and all that good stuff, read this. So good. So going into the nonfiction pile. Now this one, Carnival, so good. Put this in fantasy. Yeah. I'm just gonna speedrun it because there's a lot of books. I don't think I can talk through all of them, honestly. I'll probably talk through them one day if people really want to see that. Okay, bro, Judy Bloom, Are You Dear God, It's Me, Margaret. So good. Middle school me ate this up. I read this front to back at least 20 times because it was really relatable. It talked about a lot of stuff like teenagers, especially when you're going through puberty, like how it feels and how it goes, especially like also being in the home where there's a lot going on. You know, you're growing older, your friends, you're getting into different things you didn't really experience before middle school, because middle school is like the start of like where things go crazy, but in a good way and not so good way. But this book was amazing. I really enjoyed it. And if you've read it, let me know your thoughts on it. I believe they made a movie about this. I haven't watched the movie yet, but hopefully it's as good as the book. So this is more realistic fiction. So over here, yeah. Now, The Travels of a Teacher in a Global Economy. This is part of my AP Economics reading list that I did not read, but I had to get the book. And so it's been in my library since that, yeah, maybe I will read it someday. Here you go. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put up the books we have so far up because I'm tired. And then we'll continue resorting everything again because there's no way I can stack up all this fantasy. It's gonna reach the ceiling at this point. So let's start putting them in the library shelf. And then we can continue sorting later on. Let's begin. Let's start with the fantasy pile. So we got a beginning, and I'm just start putting in. Put the fantasy up top. Not the top. Not the top. I'll try to keep. Actually, I was thinking of keeping authors together, but actually, I'll keep the genres together. Because I'm like, it'll be much more understandable for that lens. So, let's see. Over here. Got this book. I should tie it that way. Yeah. Okay, so we got this book over here. I'm just stacking it up. And so with all these books, like, it's more of a hoarding thing. Like, I just like having a lot of books that I own. It's like a pride of mine to just like increase my library and make it the biggest possible version ever. Like, that's just me. I also love to, if possible, get sequels or get all books in a series. So, for example, with Children of Blood and Bones, I have this book. I got the second book, Children of Virtue and Vengeance. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but hopefully it's good because the first book was good. So I'm gonna put it in here, put them next to each other, and then continue on like that. Let me see, actually, let me put the authors into the same section, put the authors together, just to make things more cohesive. So, okay, next on, Parable of the Sower. So I'm gonna put that in here. Then we have Red Rising, Kindred. Those are Octavian Butler books, and they're the same plot. Wait, this is sci-fi, not fantasy. So, wrong spot. Red Rising is also sci-fi, not fantasy. I'm mixing myself up. Let me keep continuing. So, I got Immortal Dark. Put that in here. Immortal Ruin, Eternal Ruin, up in here. So, next on, we have more of the fantasies. Oh my gosh. The fantasy already took up the first row. Is that good? I don't know, but honestly, we just gotta keep on going. Okay. Next on, we got The Stolen Air again, and this Wonder Woman book, which is really amazing. I can't stop reading that. So I'm gonna just start off in the next list. Okay, here we go. Okay, any more fantasy? Yes, we do have a lot more fantasy. So I got these 2 books from the Thrift Books site, so you can get books secondhand, and they're a lot more cheaper, and it's a lot more sustainable to get older books and give them more love than to buy newer books, although I do buy new books as well. But this is just a good way to give them more love and, you know, just showcase the, like, your support and, you know, your care for the environment, which is good. So I really love Mary Lou. I love her books, and these 2 are fantasy, so I'm gonna put them together over here. So the first, The Youngites and The Rose Society. I really enjoyed this series. I also enjoyed the Legend series. If you know, you know. I wish they turned that into a movie, but I guess the appeal for dystopian fiction died after Hunger Games and the rest of them. Although it is rising again with the new Hunger Games movies coming out, so that's pretty slick. I have this other set of fantasy books. So A Song of Salvation and Son of the Emperor. These are books I got on Amazon, and they were pretty cheap. They were on sale, so I was like, you know what, let me show them some love. And I got these books, and they were pretty good. They're pretty good actually. This one follows like an alternative world whereby like darker skinned people are at the top and like lighter skinned people are not. Like they're on the like lower roles of society, and they discuss that sort of like what if, which is like different from our current day society. So that was really interesting to read, and this was like a good fun read as well. So it was like a mix of fantasy and sci-fi for this one. So I know where to put it. I think I'll put it in sci-fi, so I'm gonna place this down and put this up instead. I'm trying to see if I have any more sci-fi or fantasy books, any more fantasy books before I start the sci-fi section. Yeah, I think I'm done with fantasy, so let's do sci-fi next. So some of these books you've already seen before. How to Become Wicked, so good. I recommend this book to literally everybody and anyone I meet. Like literally, if you know me, you've probably received this book already, and I've literally told you to read it. It's so good. I read this for my reading bowl, and it's spectacular. And it's like the plot twist is plot twisting. I don't want to spoil this, but read it. Okay, so place this up here. Place this here. Sorry, the sci-fi roll already. Red Rising, obviously good. I'm not gonna explain it. If you know, you know. Kindred, Octavia Butler, so good. I'll put that on here. Mindscape was interesting. I don't know if I remember the plot, but it was pretty good otherwise. Then we have Binti. Binti was really good. Then I have the 4 books of 100. Like, actually insane work. I don't know why I got this, but I love this. And I'm going to actually read it because I watched the show. So I'm going to try to rearrange it lovely. So let's place that in here in order of the series. So here we go. That looks good, right? Let me showcase this some more. It looks amazing, right? You can't really see my head anymore, but hey, you can see my hands. I can hear my voice. That's what matters. Okay, next on, we got more of the Octavia E. Butler books, Parable of the Sower, Parable of the Talents. So I'm gonna put that, oopsies, that should not be here. This is, well, technically this is sci-fi, not fantasy. So I'm gonna move this down, and then I'm gonna move this down, I'll move this up, and then I'll move this down. Okay, so continuing on with fantasy, not fantasy, continuing on with sci-fi. So next on, Maze Runner, Warcross, such good books, like amazing books. Then we have Morton Engines in this random book. I forgot the plot, but yeah. I have a lot more science fiction. Like, I can't escape from it. There's another science fiction. It's actually by Stan Lee. Hello? I did not notice this before. But here we go. Stan Lee in the flesh. All right, then this book. I haven't read it yet, but I hope it's good. People, there were like some high praises of this book. Even James Partisan wrote a review of it. So I got to read it. So I'll read it. Okay, the fantasy. Not fantasy. I keep mistaken. Sci-fi section. Okay. 2 rows done, and I'm not even close to being done. I haven't even gone to the other genres. Help me. Help me. Okay. Next on, let's do... I haven't finished sci-fi. Let's continue sci-fi. So, I have Dune, the Dune series. I watched the movies. I love Timothée Chalamet. I got the book. I think I got this at Thrift Books. So, it was like, lightly used already. So, someone already bought this. And it was still really good. I actually haven't read it. But the movies are really good. So, and the book looks like it's new. Even though it was like lightly used. So, hey, don't sleep in your lightly used bookstores. So, here we go. Dune. Let's start you right here. Next on, we have Crash Course Jubilee. I haven't read this book. I read a little bit, but I don't remember the plot, but sci-fi, here we go. Also excited to get all the Divergent books. I know, why would you do this to yourself? I watched the movies when I was in middle school. I forgot the plot. I just know like there was like the divergence, and then there were like the different people were supposed to have powers or something, and you can't have all 4 of you. Like if you have more than one power or something like that, you're like an outsider, and then they like call you, stop you, do something really bad that I don't want to like, you know, say, but yeah. So I got the books, so hopefully if I read the books, I'll enjoy them more than the movies. They'll be much more impactful. Yeah, so I'm gonna just place them in order. And was it Insurgent or Legion first? I don't know. Okay, next, dystopian sci-fi. Dystopian, really good sci-fi. Hunger Games. I actually watched the movies first. I never actually read the books. Then one of my friends was like, you should read the book. And I was like, you know what? You're so right. Let me read the books. And I read the books, and the books are so much better. The movies are still really top tier. Movies are still top tier, but the books, so good. So I got the trilogy. Actually, I got this one by myself from the Thrift Books, and then my friend gave me the other 2 books. So thank you so much, friend. You will be appreciated forever. I have The Visitors by Austin Scott Gard. I lost the cover, sadly. This is a really good sci-fi as well. But I think it was the second in the series, which was kind of cut because I read that before I actually read the first book, which is a theme that I sadly have where I mistakenly get the sequels. And then I'm like, oh, there was a first book? Because this happened, it was in middle school. I went to the Scholastic Fair, and then I got this book, and I was like, oh, this is really interesting, but I'm confused. Then I find out it was the sequel. I was supposed to read the first book. So I read the first book like a year later, and I was like, oh, it makes sense now. I basically spoiled myself, but it's still really good despite that. So, read this. This is Dread Nation. This is more like a zombie situation. It was so good. It was like, based in like I don't know. I think it's like the 19th century or 20th century. I can't quite remember. But they're zombies and they're at war. It's really good. So yeah, this was one of my reading books as well. Yes. Like I couldn't get it for a reading book. Like I couldn't get it for free. So I actually bought it after the fact. I think like earlier this year actually. So insane work. I was just that locked in. Yeah, so here we go. Next one. This one. Let's call a memory called Empire. I haven't read this book, but I saw like it was recommended as one of like the best fanfiction. I believe it got an award. I forgot. I don't know if it was Hugo or the other awards for sci-fi, but it was so good. And then there were some like notes that came with the book because I got it from Thrift Books, and so there's some notes that the previous author left, the previous owner left, and I was like, this is pretty cool. Let me keep this, you know, like and see like what your thoughts are and why they highlighted certain sections. And, you know, or maybe I will talk about it, like talking through the books that other people have owned and they've highlighted and what I feel about the certain things they highlighted if they were correct. I shouldn't say if they were correct, but if they were good and if I agree with it, and also my thoughts on the matter. So keep note of that. I might do a video on that sometime. So anyhow, this one is this book called The Diabolic. Now this book was amazing. I got this in high school, and bro, when I was reading in class, I literally cried. They were like, "Girl, are you okay?" This book follows a girl who's like being genetically engineered, and you know she has to basically like I can't really explain it, but it's really good. Yeah, take my word for it. I'm obviously the expert. Anyway, I got The Foundation. I watched the show in Apple TV. So good. I did not know it was a book series by Isaac Asimov. If you know this guy has written a lot of crazy sci-fi, and literally is like one of my dad's favorite authors. But this book, I haven't read it, but I'm really excited. If the show is that good, the book must be spectacular. So I'm excited to read this. They even have the updated look from Apple TV, which is crazy because I also got it from Thrift Books. And I'm like, bro, this looks new. This looks new, and it was really cheap because someone's used it before. I'm like, guys, lock in. This is method. This is method. I think I'm done with all the sci-fi, so let's keep it going. Let's do, what should be the best course of action? Let's do like, YA, realistic, and all that good stuff. I think that's a good next transition. I have this book, The Will of the Many. I haven't read it yet, but it was highly recommended to me, so I bought it. So hopefully it's good. There's some Barnes & Noble too, so I was like, hardcover is the way to go. Here we go. YA. Next one, Don't Get Caught. Next one is The Walled City. So this is also a good YA. It's more dystopian because like these kids rebelling against the society they were brought up in, and it was really good as well. I forgot the plot because it's been a minute, but yeah. There you go. Do I have any more? Now, let's gonna transition into like older and more adult books. These ones are more like adult like thrillers slash mysteries. So let's start there. Put this up here. Just gonna start stacking. Also, some of my plushies are right there, as you can see. Ignore them. It's like Kuromi and Pokemon character. Yeah. This little thing to decorate my room. But yeah, just keep on stacking. Yeah, it's really nice to like have different sets of books because you know when you're bored or you have guests over, you can be like, hey, actually I have a book that is just for you, something you would really like and enjoy. And it's like a really cool and good thing. But yeah, next I have a good mix of graphic novels. Some of them are comics. Some of them are more, how should we say it, kid-like. Example, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I love Diary of a Wimpy Kid. My brother also loved it as well. So we always used to get these books as kids and we used to read them online. I was like, wait, why don't I just get the actual book? So I did. But by mistake, my brother also got the book. And it was the same exact thing. Chopped, right? It's got a chopped cheese. But I love these two books. So I'm gonna just keep them. And I'm gonna start the graphic novels over here. I have this Green Arrow comic book from Ollie's that I got. So I'm gonna add that over here as well. Ooh, can it fit? Okay. Okay, the book can't seem to fit, so I'm gonna just stuff it in here a little bit. Yeah. Actually, I forgot about a certain genre. The I don't know genre. Basically, the genre of it could be anything. It could be sci-fi, fantasy, realistic fiction. I forgot to add that. So let me just ship these books over and put those in here. So here we go. The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I haven't read it yet. Hopefully, I get a chance to. And The Babel, which is really good. So I'm gonna put them together. Okay. Okay. It's in there. Fine, this is just half of the books. Like, I still have a lot more to go. So it's kind of like, chop, maybe I need to get another library. That's something I would have to do, most likely. I'm gonna put comic books at the bottom. So comic books slash graphic novels. So Diary of a Wimpy Kid goes at the bottom. I have more Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. They also go at the bottom as well. Which, can you see it? So you can see some of the books on the floor already, so it's kind of like, yeah. So more graphic novels. Alchemist, Cry Wolf Solar go at the bottom. The Green Arrow goes at the bottom. I was really obsessed with Archie as a kid, so I love a lot of Archie graphic novels. So I'm gonna place them in here as well. Oh my gosh, it can't fit. Okay. Also SpongeBob. This was middle school me. I didn't know there was a comic book. I saw it was a comic book. I got it, so. Hey. Oh my gosh. Is that all my graphic novels? I think so. Okay, let's move on. Kids fiction. I love kids fiction. I'm just gonna like list them all. Some of them were like 12, 13, 10. If you know the series, you know. If you don't know, let's pick out. Oh, my legs. More kid fiction. Yeah, is that all my kid fiction? No, I have Spy Academy, so that's something. Put that in here. Also, I forgot, I also have an omnibus of Archie Giant Comics. I got this in Costco, I think. Like, look at this. Isn't this so reminiscent? Just put it over down there. I think I messed up the order, but this way, as you can see, I'm a little bit sweaty. I'm out of it. I'm tired. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Classics. So let's put the classics also at the bottom as well. So yeah, my Jekyll, we have our Divine Comedy up in there. Also, fairy tales. So as you noticed, I told you I was obsessed with fairy tales. I have the Irish fairy tales even. I know, crazy, right? I got them. So I'm gonna add the fairy tales with the classics. I have my Grimm brothers, I have my Hans Andersen stories. Next on, I'm gonna do poetry next. So I have sets of poetry books I'll give into for free at my college. So I'll add those in there. I still have a lot of books on the floor. They're kind of like miscellaneous. Not really miscellaneous, but like there are other genres like realistic fiction, all those things. I don't have space in the library, as you can see. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like stack them on top. And then when I get another bookcase, I'll be able to figure something out. This is what I have so far. With the library, it's could be better. Obviously, I still have so many books left that need to be in certain, like genres, but I don't have enough book space for it, so I'm just gonna stack it all up on here. But look at what I have so far. Isn't this amazing? Isn't this amazing? Isn't this spectacular? Isn't this sweet? Isn't this amazing? Yeah, cooked. I'll just stack the rest of them on top. We'll figure it out. We'll do a part 2 when we get more, options. Yeah. But before we do that, I love to like add a little bit of accessories to my libraries. I got this free Eat More Chicken plushie from Chick-fil-A, so I'm just gonna add that in here. Eat more chicken. I also got a lot of birthday cards from friends, and so I like to put them on my library just to remember, the friends I've made and the good things they've done for me. So I put them here. Also, this little plushie keychain I got, I'll put them in here. My bookmark, because you always need this. You always need this. So put that on the library as well, in case I get a new book and I'm like, I need to bookmark it, because I used to duck ear my books as a kid, which is not good. Not good. Don't do that. So yeah. What else? I crochet this flower, so I like to add that as well as like a little rose. So add that in here. Just like add a little bit of pizzazz, a little bit of a je ne sais quoi to everything, And yeah. Now I'm gonna move my sunglasses, put them at the bottom, and there's a nice little patch at the bottom as well. And then I'm gonna start stacking the rest of the books at the top, and then we can figure it out later when we have enough funds to get another bookcase. Yeah, and then hopefully I get more books, so we can expand and go some more. So I'm just gonna start. Okay. So I'm gonna start with like the thick books at the very top, just to give it more stability. So yeah, so these, let me see if I can actually also like arrange it by genre as well. This is nonfiction, war and nonfiction about like how the world could change, like possibilities of like future, speculative nonfiction. So I'm gonna just put that in nonfiction pile. I'll put this as fiction pile, and then we'll go from there. Fiction, this is nonfiction pile. I think that'll be a good way to like put it together for when I can expand the library and the bookcases and make it much more cohesive. So let's keep on going. Nonfiction. Of course, we got the Holy Bible, best book ever. And I put that up here with nonfiction. And before, or does the before look better? You know what? It doesn't matter. I'm tired. I finished it. Yay! Y'all can do it too. I had to do it for a check, I was an employee, and I got to get employee of the month, and that's a period. If you know that reference, you know it. If you don't, I don't really care at this point. I'm kind of tired. So this is the full thing. I'm gonna pan it down. Doesn't look kind of cute. Looks kind of cute, right? Looks kind of cute. That's all I read from the books. And then obviously I'm gonna say hi to my stickers. Up here, gonna give it a shout out. I made this Lego flower. This will calm my mind, right? I think I'm a little stressed. Am I stressed? I don't think so. I think I just stressed myself out by trying to rearrange the library. I just left it the way it was. But hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you're able to do more fun stuff. And yeah.